Good morning, everyone. It's me, Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrell. Is going to do a quick update on this lovely Wednesday morning before the storm rocks us here in Central Florida. I've got the radar up. That's coming from the powerful WKMG News 6. They have radar lock on it right now. You see the eye is still out there. It's north of Key West, south of Fort Myers, and out in the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately, it is not going to stay in the Gulf of Mexico. It's rolling its way toward land right now, barreling this way at about 15 miles per hour. I hate to hear my audio, but I need to see your comments. So let's go. Let's talk about what's happening, what's shaking, and what we can expect here in Central Florida. Now, if you were watching the newscast last night, I saw a lot of people talking about storm taking more of a southerly tack. It has. It wobbles matter, man. Let's go back to 2016 with Hurricane Matthew. Was that Irma? Irma was 2017, I think. No, Irma. I'm confusing them. Matthew was 16. Irma was 17. So there you go. Everything looks like a wobble can make all the difference in the world. So yesterday, the alleged path, our best guess on the center of rotation, the storm stayed south or east of that throughout the entire day yesterday. It wobbled and wobbled and wobbled off course. So models readjust, put it on there, and initialized and sent the storm a little farther south. When I say sent the storm, we guessed the storm was probably going to go a little farther south than the track. That is going to change things, hopefully, for Tampa Bay. Hopefully, prayerfully, for you guys, the storm surge won't be 15 feet as we had feared it would be. More likely than not, it will be 9 feet, 10 feet on the order of what we had with Helene a couple of weeks ago. And it is worse for the Port Charlotte area. You know, that area with that Charlotte Bay is going to be uglier, probably, if it goes farther south. Here's what you need to know for Orlando, basically. Instead of 100-mile-per-hour wind gust in the city of Orlando, I think they're going to max out like 60 or 70. I'm prayerful, anyway, that we're going to do a little bit better. A 20 or 30-mile move of the storm system does make that big of a difference with that. That's what I'm talking about, Michael. I'm talking about wind speeds of 70 miles per hour rather than 100 over the attractions. That's a game changer. That's a big difference. It's a very strong tropical storm instead of a freaking Cat 2 hurricane. So it's a big difference for the immediate metro area, Seminole County. It's better for you. Now, let's be well heard. We're getting inundated with rain. We're still getting high wind. And the heaviest of the rain in our area here in Central Florida will be from Orange County north, because the top part of the storm, this is going toward the northeast, is going to interact with the front. The front's going to be digging in. The storm's going to run up against it and get lift. Boom! All kinds of rain, and heavy rain brings the high wind to the surface. So you're not out of the woods just because the eye is going farther south. That still means tornado threats, still means copious amounts of rain, flooding, puddling, ponding in low-lying areas, and it means you got to be vigilant. And it means it's going to be a tough run. I'm going to be here bunkered in after about 6 p.m. tonight. You have today till about 4 or 6 to get ready. I still have to bring in my inversion table and a trampoline. It's not a big trampoline, a little small trampoline you bounce on the deck. Those have to come inside because those are kites. You're going to pick that up and slam my house. So make sure you do all that. I've got everything else tightened up, got everything going on. That's what the system looks like right now. All of the modeling takes it just south of Orlando. This would mean Osceola County. This eye may come right over top of you. Southern Brevard County, this eye may end up coming right over top of you. We were initially thinking it would go out at the Cape, and then farther south, and now it looks like probably between Melbourne and the Cape is where we believe the eye is going to go. Keep in mind, we're still, 18 hours away from landfall? Something like that. 9 p.m. tonight, 12 hours, 15 hours away from landfall. So trying to pick out which island it's going to hit. Is it going to go in on top of Venice? Is it going to go where? Tiffany, don't be nervous. Just be ready. Be ready. Bunker up. Bunker in. If I don't lose... Hey, Meg Blocker. Hey, girl. How are you doing? Meg, I think you're going to do okay with this storm. I think you're going to get copious amounts of rain, but I don't think your wind is going to be as bad over there in Citrus County as what we're going to have down here. I think maybe you've lucked out. You didn't luck out last time with Helene. You got a lot more wind than I did. This time, I think Citrus County doesn't get the same amount of wind as what we get here in Orange County. Hey, Alan writes, what is up, my brother? Michael, is Disney on the north side? Is it really bad? You're on the northeast side of the storm. Northwest side of the storm at the attractions, but the front is coming down. See how this radar's flattening out right here on top from Jacksonville down to the Gulf? There's a front digging into the backside of that. And look how much rain is exploding up there in Jacksonville. That's what's going to happen in Orlando and the attractions. The highest sustained winds with the eye will go south of Orlando, I believe. I believe this is going to get through Osceola and southern Brevard. But that northwest quadrant that is normally safer is going to be hitting this front. That means enough lift that heavier showers will occur. And when it rains hard, the copious amounts of rain, the heavy rain drags that wind to the surface. That ain't great news. That's not great. So it's still going to be a tough run. Probably not 100 mile per hour sustained wind gust in Orlando. Probably 60, 70. But the tornadic activity can tag you at any time, so you're going to have to be tough. Oh no, I'm not leaving. I'm bunkered in. My house is Brick O Block, or Concrete Block. Brick O Block is a company in Nashville. So I call every cement block a Brick O Block. You know, you are who you are. You are a product of where you grew up. No, you're fine. No, you want to be on the second floor for flooding, Michael. You don't want to be on the ground floor, bro. You don't. You want to be where you are. If you're on the second floor, if your window is facing north, you're lucked out. If you're facing east-southeast, you get a lot of that wind hitting your windows. So be ready for that. Don't freak out. Disney built those places to last. They did. All right, so real quick update. The path is taking more of a southerly jog, but not enough to clear Central Florida. I believe the eye will still come across part of our viewing area, if I were still on TV, or part of my listing area for Talk to Tom. All the fans through Osceola, Southern Brevard need to get ready. You really do. Yeah, if your house is a concrete block house and you're not in a low area that's prone to flooding, stay home. Shelter in place. That's what you need to do. Do not be on the road. Do not be trying to travel. Shelter in place. Stay home. If you want to sleep, sleep. Dig it. It's not going to make the storm go any slower or faster if you stay awake fretting over it. It's not. Roughest time here in Orlando between about 3 a.m. and maybe 7:30, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you've got till 6 o'clock tonight. I'm not even going to take the bird feeder down. The birds are still eating. I'm not going to take the bird feeder down until about 6. I've got a list of things I have to do by 6 o'clock to get her done. To wrap this up. All right, here's the deal. Storm goes in a little farther south. Hopefully spares Tampa Bay from the worst storm surge ever. I'm not sure what this means for Sarasota County, Venice, and those places. Yes, as long as I have power, I'll be back on through the storm. Once Casa de Soros goes dark, I have a generator, but it won't fire up my internet. I don't think. I'm not going to do all that. I just want to fire it from my fridge. You know, don't lose ice in all my food. Man's got to eat. You know what I mean? I'm used to riding out these storms in a poured concrete building on the John Young Parkway with huge generators and lots of food provided by the company. Those days are gone. I'm on my own, like all of you, hanging out, trying to survive the storm. I'm going to wrap this edition of Talk to Tom up. Just know, there's your radar. There's the eye of the storm on radar lock, southwest of Fort Myers. That feeder band action is going to come through here. Torquing, the tornado risk is worse, way south of Orlando. But anytime there's a low in the Gulf of Mexico, things get wacky on the peninsula of the state of Florida. And so our tornado risk is up. You're going to have to be vigilant. They won't last long. Yeah, you got to bring your bird feeders in by 6 o'clock tonight because, you know, once the sun goes down, you don't want to be out. And it's going to get blustery by 8 and then become tropical, hugely tropical by midnight and then through the early morning hours. Again, the worst time in Central Florida, in Orlando region, in the metro. That's Seminole, Orange, and maybe even down to Osceola where I believe the eye may still come through. We're talking about 3 o'clock in the morning, tonight into tomorrow morning, until about 7:30 or 8 tomorrow morning. So Southern Brevard County, be vigilant. Southern Osceola County, from Kissimmee south, be vigilant. And even in Orlando, wind speeds now look to me like they're not going to be 100 miles per hour in Orlando, maybe 70, 75. Tornado risk is still up there. Enough said. I'm going to let you guys go. I'll be back at 5 o'clock this afternoon with another update. Go watch Channel 6. They're on the whole time. They're in wall-to-wall coverage. I think it will weaken, Tiffany. I think it's going through eyewall replacement, and I think that the dry air being sucked in the back of the storm. I mean, look at the storm right now. As I put my cursor over, see all this constant rain north, and then just feeder band activity here. And the backside, you're not seeing most of the backside because radar gets blocked. So the eye's not going away, but it doesn't look as concentric or tight to me. It looks like it's going through eye wall replacement. And if that's true, and it's being dry air sucked in, if we could suck that dry air in the middle, whoosh, we get those winds down to 95, 100, 120 miles per hour. That makes all the difference in the world as to what it does when it augers up into land. And then the shear, the dry air, eye wall replacement, we hope it happens. Hey, Christy Monahan, watching from Atlanta. Appreciate that. Rock and roll. Def Leppard. I know where I met you. Let's see, what else? Who else is talking? I got to go. I've got things I got to wrap up here. But I will be back at 5 o'clock this evening. Channel 6 is in wall-to-wall coverage. Tune them in. They're killing it. And I'll be back. You guys get your last-minute preps done and be good to each other and stay safe. See you at 5.